Good day to you my fellow endoskeletons, I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase Progress Report. We're on week 43 of 2021 and if you're new here I bring you the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. It was nearly the first time in a very long time that we had no new major patches in the PTU or even the live branch of the game. But just as I was writing this, we had a brand new live branch patch released. This brings a massive list of bug fixes from the PTU over to the live branch, as well as features like company ships and the recently unannounced addition to the PTU, the safe zone visualization. This should only be a first pass too, and I'm expecting this effect to look even better and maybe even animated further down the line. And there have been plenty of action on the PTU too, with more Station Siege test events with a reasonable turnout. Stick around for the gallery images later in the video as we have tons of images of these events and the mayhem that ensued. Yesterday, as promised, I released the judging and winner of my Halloween ship design competition. We had some great entries and they all put a lot of effort into their ships. Check it out via a link in the top right or the description, you will not be disappointed. Also let me know in the comments if you're interested in me running something similar for Christmas. Shout out to my YouTube members and monthly donor boxers who help make this video just that little bit extra. I couldn't have done it without you. This week's Lowry quotes are a bit light since he has not been around much in the last week, but we have a few updates here. Starting off with why some features can take quite a bit of time. Larry says some features might get stuck waiting for another feature which they rely on, but putting on hold due to priorities is more rare but also happens sometimes. Some feature might start out as a single easy feature, but when they start working on it they discover dependencies and all of a sudden they're in the middle of a massive overhaul or feature set. Some feature starts out massive and when working on it turns out to be super massive, like capital ships. For example, at one point in capital ship development, they started to look at navigation stuff, and the solution to that was nav chips, which is already a large feature, but the nav chips posed another problem. They are worthless if looting is not done before nav chips are implemented, so now they're finalizing looting too, and capital ships starting with regular ores would have been a lost chance too, so now they are also finalizing alloys as well. So just an idea of how things change during development. Make of that what you will. Jumping into our next two quotes, we have some updates on features people have asked for, starting with what progress has been done for the manual welds that are the replacement for the old attachment plates. Larry says repair mechanics unfortunately took priority, but after that and finalised factory caster stuff, it's next, which probably means Q1 of next year. And lastly, answering any ideas for how future controls will work or if improved mouse or joystick support is coming, Larry answers mouse improvements got stuck waiting for a better binding system, which also got stuck since UI programmers are tied to capitals, company, etc. stuff. At this point I'm thinking a lot of the quality of life updates everyone wants will be waiting for large features to drop. So we'll see a lot of extra polish in this area in the new year, before the next round of larger features starts work. This week's gallery is all from the carnage that took place on the PTU test events. Ship and station destruction all round. I managed to make it to one of these events myself, but there was still the usual LOD issues for me, and not being able to tell if you're actually doing any damage or not sometimes. But there was still a lot of fun to be had, plus it helps the devs get the data they need to push forward. And as you can see from the screenshots, damaged stations look awesome, if they load that is. And speaking of Station Siege, we have a progress deep dive on this feature too. And we kick off with the basis for every feature, the technology. Station destruction technology, controlling everything the stations need to go boom, is fully complete, and working as evident by the gallery this week. Projectiles damage stations. Making sure each weapon does the correct amount or correctly detect the station when they hit it in terms of torpedoes is fully complete. Explosive damage to stations. Lost your ship? No problem. Everything from rocket launchers to C4 can also damage stations. This too is complete. Last for this section is melee damage to stations. Unfortunately the coding has not yet been started on punching and pickaxing your way through a station. Siege gameplay is the next section, and just to save some time here, this is all mostly still in design with art and coding yet to start. And some parts are reliant on working capital ships too. Dynamic safe zones. If you don't know, stations and military capital ships will have dynamic safe zones that can cancel each other out, which is what happens at the start of a siege. Initiating a siege. This must be done with a military capital ship, fast travelling with intent to attack the target station. This also turns the target area into a siege zone which civilian capital ships cannot enter, and those already present can only warp away. Capturing and defending is the mechanics of not just capturing or defending the station, but also the same in a counterattack against the opposing capital ship, because why just defend when you can take from them everything? Siege defense. This is the only part of the section that is complete, and this is the free welding of parts to a station during a siege by the defenders to rebuild or construct new defenses like walls. Outsider players. This is all about being able to third party a siege and be able to take the station or capital ship, or both, instead of either the attacker or defender of the original attack. This is definitely going to be a thing since siege locations will be public eventually. Ending the siege. Eventually the siege must end, so win conditions must be in place to reinstate the safe zone, be it for the defenders or with the station under new ownership. Our last section is capital ships in siege, which of course starts with the military capital ship. This is still in design, and these are converted from civilian capital ships. Once converted, the military capital ship has a dynamic safe zone and follows a different set of rules for where it can go, its warp timer, and how often it can launch ships. Capital ship fast travel. This is in the design and art phases right now, with coding not yet started. This mechanic is the only way a capital ship can move around, and so is a key component of siege. And that's it, you're all caught up for this week's Starbase news. Don't forget to come drop by my Discord or chip in to support the channel via donor box or YouTube memberships. All my monthly supporters are listed at the end of all my videos and also get access to a supporter channel on my Discord. As always, please smash that like button, share this video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.